All right, guys. So we know about our library and Miss Scronic, our librarian. And so today what I want to do is I want to talk to you about how do we help her to build the collection in the library for specific books. I know you guys have told her what you like and what you don't like. And so I want to kind of relate that back to our class, which is music. And so we're talking about a musical library because there are books in the library about music. So there's different ways to learn about music. Music can be learned through listening to music, this is what we do all the time, right? We come in here, you sit down, and we listen to music. And we can also experience it, go to concerts, listen to it on TV, listen to it in the ballet. But it can also be learned through books. There might be a composer that I tell you about, and you're like, hey, I want to know a little bit more about that person. I wonder if Miss Scronic has a book in the library about it. So music is not only about the musicians and the composers themselves, but also about styles of music. Jazz, rock, rap, hip-hop, country, classical, all those different kinds of music. And there's also the careers in music. There's more than one career in music. Everybody thinks, oh, musician, that's the only thing you can do in music. So not true. You could be a DJ. You could write the music. You know that you could be a lawyer for musicians and make money and still be part of the music industry? Yeah. You could be the person in the sound booth, the sound tech person, adjusting all of the levels, like Mr. Godsey does for all of our concerts. He goes and he adjusts it. That's somebody's job in the music industry. So books like these are in the library. So this is Mr. Beethoven, kind of give you an example of a composer. Musician, Miss Rihanna, whether you like her or not, she is a very famous musician. Oops. Rock music, so you've got all these different rock bands, A Day to Remember, Green Day, Kiss, Elvis, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, all of that. And then this kind of talks about the different careers. So you've got an artist, you've got the record company. If you work at the record company, maybe you're the producer, the person who makes sure that everything sounds good on the record. Then you've got the distributor, the person who sends out the records, the person who sells it, Best Buy, Amazon, whatever, and then the fan, which is you. So, what is in our library? Our library has so many different kinds of books, and I know Ms. Scronic has talked to you about that. There are fiction books, there are non-fiction books. She has graphic novels, which are really cool, by the way. If you've never checked them out, I think you should. So, what kind of books do you think our library has? What kind of subjects do you think are in our library? Carlos.
I took that
Michael Jackson, musician, right? Awesome. Azan.
Composers.
Okay, but what kind of books do you think are in our libraries? Not just music books. What kind of other books are in our libraries? Tell me, Azan.
Science.
Science books, right? Can you be a little more specific? What's about science?
Geology.
Geology, rocks, right? Okay, what else? Books about football and football players. What else?
Soccer books.
Books about soccer, how to play the game, all the different soccer players.
Sports.
All different kinds of sports.
Basketball players.
Basketball players.
Selena Gomez.
Say it again.
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez, yes, that's a musician, and she definitely does have a book in the library.
Mystery.
Mystery books, yeah, I love mystery books. Trying to figure out what they are. Thank you, hands down. So there's so many different books about different composers and musicians and styles of music and careers and everything else in our library, including all the awesome stuff that you guys have been reading since you were little on up, and maybe some things you still haven't discovered. So here's just a few different examples of the different kinds of books our library has about music. So when the beat was born about DJ Kool Herc and the creation of hip hop. You've got a book about Bruno Mars, Duke Ellington, who does jazz, Jay-Z, like one of the kings of hip hop. This one is a fiction book, but I put this in here because this is called Moonlight on the Magic Flute. It's about Mozart, and it's about the kids in the Magic Treehouse and how they helped Mozart and his sister. And I thought that was kind of cool that they worked in fiction into that. This one I actually have, and I need to bring up here for our reading center. It's called The Lives of the Musicians, The Good Times, The Bad Times, and What the Neighbors Thought. There's some really funny stories in there. And then this one is specifically about jazz. Yes, ma'am.
Wasn't the when the people born and named
About this one?
Yeah, wasn't the name
It might have been, and I'm not sure. It might have been, but this is actually a short book. I think most of your name that book are chapter books. So, now that you've seen what's in our library, what do you think? Do you think we have a good selection, or do you think maybe we need a little help? Pedro? I think we have a pretty good selection of it. When I was doing some research though, do you know we have no books about Beethoven? We have one about like how he died, because I guess it was a weird way or something, but there was no book about him per se, okay? I think we have a pretty good selection, and Miss Chronic keeps us with a pretty good variety of music books, okay? It was kind of hard to find different careers in music, so that might be something. Maybe you want to be like, how do I become a DJ? What does a DJ exactly do? Like, where can I play? And might be something you want. So what would you like to see in the library about music? What is something that maybe you have been interested in about music, or a musician that maybe you think we should put into the library? I want you to put your thinking cap on. Put it on. Think about it for about 1 minute. Maybe a little less than that. Okay? What I want you to do is we're going to take about 30 seconds, and you're just going to turn to a person next to you or near you and tell them what you think. Turn now, please. I'm going to give us 30 seconds. Go. So turn around and talk to her, baby. Turn around and talk to her. About 15 more seconds. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay? So, Pedro, you brought up a really good point I overheard. Can you tell everybody else what you had thought maybe we needed to the library? Spanish books are books about Spanish musicians, right? How many of you listen to Spanish music, or your parents do, and so that's what you grew up with? Yeah, look at how many of you. Okay, put your hands down. So that's quite a few of you. But I honestly can tell you, I don't know if there are any books about Spanish musicians in the library. But because of our school and our culture, that might be something that we need to put in there. Hey, I really like this Spanish musician. What about their life? I don't know anything. Can I figure out what is going on with their life? And if we don't have it, that might be something to bring up to Miss Chronic. Okay? What else? Yes, sir. Maybe some Jamaican. Yeah, your dad's from Jamaica, right? Or did he grow up in Jamaica, or his parents did, right? And so maybe that's your interest. Maybe you would like a couple about reggae music or Jamaican music, because a lot of Jamaican music is reggae. And that would be something really awesome. Sergio. Not Sergio, I'm sorry, wrong child. Tell me. So maybe about how to play the piano. That might be something that you might want to, and then you could always read up on it and then come in here whenever you're free center day and be able to do that, right? That'd be something kind of cool.
Like how music is made?
How is it made, right? So how do you go into a studio and create music? What kind of microphones do they use? What are the levels? Things like that. That would be an awesome book. My two ladies at the back, and then we're going to move on. Yes, ma'am. Either one.
Christmas carols?
So maybe something about Christmas carols. There's stories about that. I even have a book, and I think it's also in the library. It's Jingle Bells. But maybe it's a book of Christmas carols that you would like to do. Now keep in mind that if it's not in high demand, that's why Miss Chronic's not buying it and getting into the library, because if you're the one person who wants it, then maybe not. But if it's a bunch of us who are like, yeah, that would be really cool, then we could go sit there and do that. Awesome. Yes, ma'am.
About dancers?
About dancers? So, no, she said dancers. It just sounded like dinosaurs. And so I was like, dinosaurs don't do with music. And then I realized what you were trying to say. And it could be about the ballet. How is the music written for a ballet, right? Or how is music written for hip hop? How would they use it together? So a connection kind of book. Very nice. So I like this one. Interrogation Cat wants answers. Tell me what you want. That's why I put this down. I thought that was kind of funny. Interrogation Cat, like they're interrogating you, they're asking you questions kind of thing. I thought that was kind of funny. All right. So now we need your help. A lot of our kids don't know that these are books in the library unless it's something of an interest. They may not know. Some of our kids only go for the fiction books or the graphic novels, which is great. But some of you like reading about nonfiction. You like finding out things. You're at that age where you do, which is awesome. You should. You should know as much as you can about the world before you leave school. Before you move on and you're 18, you should learn as much as you can from the books. They're free. That's the awesome part. You get to check them out for free. It doesn't cost you anything. And even if you go to a regular public library and get a library card, it doesn't cost you anything unless you lose the book. But get all the knowledge you can in your brain. So now we need your help. And we are going to create a flyer today. Okay? So I'm going to show you what I'm exactly wanting from you. I didn't put one up, like I didn't draw one out yet, because I wanted to show you here on the Promethean board how exactly you can do it. Remember that there's no right or wrong way to do this. How you draw, there's no right or wrong way, but there are some guidelines I'm going to give you so that you understand what you need to be doing today. And I'm going to give you about 15 minutes to do this, and you are going to do it with a partner. So let me go through this. So I know we had talked about putting hashtag musical books in the library, hashtag musical books. It wouldn't let me print it up there. So you guys can totally write that in. I think that would be awesome if you did. Okay? But let me show you the directions that I want. So you are going to get with a partner today, because I don't want you to do it by yourself, because that's just a lot to take on. But you're going to do it with a partner, and you're going to decide what kind of music book do you want to advertise to the rest of the school. Do you want to take on about a music career? Do you want to take on about a musician or one of the composers that we've learned about? Or do you want to do a style of music? Or you could do something like how do dance and music go together and go together. That was a great idea. Give me a second and we'll talk. I want you to be able to do all of that, but you need to narrow it down and pick one. All right? All questions at the end. Then you're going to narrow it down again by picking a specific subject within a music career or a musician or a composer or a style of music. So for example, if you pick a musician, you need to pick one that you're going to advertise the book for. So I just gave an example of Jay-Z. If maybe you do a composer, you do Mozart. If you do a music career, maybe you do a DJ or a producer or however you want to do it. Style of music, maybe you do jazz or rock or rap. You're going to draw a picture of the subject that you are advertising. So pretend like it's the front of a book. Like you're advertising in front of a book, whether we have the book in the library or not. Okay? Put it out there. Then you're going to be using crayons and or, I was supposed to say pencils, my bad. Pencils on your flyer. So we do have casitas, you have pencils, and there are crayons. I do want color. If you're going to do pencil, great. But then I want you to add some color into it. Because just pencil looks a little boring when it's supposed to be this bright, awesome flyer. If you're a kid walking past the library and you're like, oh, flyer, and it's in pencil, you're not really going to stop, right? You're just like, okay, it kind of blends in. But if it's got these bright, bold colors and all these awesome letters on it and it's really nicely drawn, it's going to catch your eye and you'll be like, hey, what are they advertising? Oh, it's about a music book. Okay. Oh, that looks really neat. Maybe I should check that one out. Make it as colorful as possible. Do it with pencil if you want, but then put some color along with it. My suggestion to you is do mostly crayon today. If you want to do some pencil, but you need to add some color into it as well. All right? Add some words about what your flyer's about. Don't just put a picture of a book and be like, I'm done. Nobody knows what it's about. Put at the top, come read, or however it is you want to phrase it. You're a kid. Think about what a 5th grader would want to see on a flyer. What would make you want to read that book? Okay? What would make you want to read that book? What words, what picture, what would make you go, hey, that looks awesome. Maybe I should go ask Mr. Gronick about that book and let me go check it out. Okay? Think about what you want. Not about what I would want, but what about you would want because you're the ones who would be checking out the book. And then when you're done, you're going to hand it in to me. All right? So, pick musician or composer, style of music, or a music career. Narrow it down again to one specific subject. You're going to draw about whatever it is. I just suggested the front of what the book would look like to kind of give everybody an idea in the rest of the library what it looks like so they can find it. Draw your picture of your subject, add some words, and then hand it in to me. Questions? Yes? Yeah, it's like an advertisement. Think about it like that. Yes? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. No, you need to work with a partner because it doubles up. Yeah, you need to work with a partner. Yes?
Is each person getting a paper or each partner?
Each partner. So like if Dan is your partner, you get one paper. So I'm going to give you a paper with the directions on it to help you and a paper with the flyer. All right? Any other questions? Yes. You need to come to an agreement. You need to come to an agreement about what it is you're going to be doing. All right? I want you to spend about 5 minutes deciding what you're going to do, and then the rest of the time you need to be making sure that you are using your, no, not that. The rest of the time you're using to draw. Come on. Thank you. Sorry guys, I'm trying to pull out the writing tools and I forgot how. Okay. We're going to skip that part then. Nope. Alrighty. Yes. What do you mean? Oh, in the library? Yeah, of course. This kind of gives you a way. It could be either something we do have in the library or something we don't. So like, for example, Carlos said that he checked out a book about Michael Jackson. Maybe he thinks it's a good read and he wants to advertise it to everybody. Okay? All right. Here's what I need for you to do. I need for you to grab your partner, please, and find a spot around the room that you're comfortable with. You have from 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. We have your partner. Sit down. 10. Boys, I don't want you over there. Move over this way. Boys, I don't want you over there. Move over this way. 10, 9. Just a little bit. Right there is good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. What happened? Okay, but they can't be partners. So I need somebody to go be his partner. Move. They can't see. Move, move, move. So you can't be his partner. Can I get somebody to switch up and come be his partner? Thank you so much, Eduardo. You are awesome. Go be Kevin's partner, please. Thank you. Eduardo, I owe you like smelly marker or like 20-minute track tickets or something else. We'll chat, okay? All right. Here's what I need. Actually, I need you guys to come over here so you're out of the way of the supplies. I don't want you to get hurt. I need one partner to come get the papers for me, and then one partner to make lines, casita, pencil, crayons, please. Let's go. My people come over here. You're welcome. You're welcome. De nada. De nada. You're welcome. You're welcome. You mean gracias? De nada. Guys, sit down because they cannot see. You're blocking camera. Thank you. Quickly, no, out of the blue bucket, grab a pencil, let's go. They're not going to have erasers. Grab and go. Grab and go. Go ahead and get started. I'll be walking around to kind of help you in case you have any questions. Put your names on the back of the flyer. On the back of the flyer, put your names, please. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you may lay down. Thank you for asking. Look, there should be. Where are all my crayon boxes? Look inside the green bucket right there. Look inside the green bucket. Is it in there? The box of the crayons? No? Okay, put it back. I should have 7 boxes of, oh, that's why. You're going to need to share crayon boxes with each other because I just realized there's only 7 crayon boxes and there's 10 groups, okay? So if you're sitting next to, like, kind of share the crayon boxes for me, please. That would make it a lot easier. If I see you flip things up again, I will take them and you will find something else to do and you will not like it. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. No actors. It has to be somebody with musician, so it has to be a musician, not an actor. Put your names on the back of the flyer so I know who did it, and then the rest of you. Yes. No. We need to get to work. course you can. So that's one of the things that you need to make sure that you've got, because if that's something you want and it's not in the library, then advertise it, because then this would kind of tell Ms. Skronick, hey, this is kind of what we want. We'd like some books about Spanish music, okay? Ooh, Red Robin. If you notice at the bottom of the flyer, it says something about